and get some more work done on it. And see, I got the wiring harness kind of laid out here and starting to plug in here and there. Accessories on, so I got the power steering on now. Pressure hose off of this 96 screwed into my Yukon pump, and then right here, this is what I'm going to do for my return. Right there, just put a hose clamp on that hose, and then coming off this old return. The Yukon had a hydro boost, so there's 2 return hoses, so I'll have to block this one off, this little return port right here too. But otherwise, that's all on there pretty nice. Over here, I put the starter on, and then got the starter wiring running underneath there, all factory where it should be, at least on the motor end of it. And then I think the PCM and fuse block are going to sit over here in this area where the old little storage tray thing was. So that, and then that'll go over there somehow, and then I'm gonna keep the battery probably right here, and then just remotely run some cables. So I'll run a ground, and then I'll run my positive probably over to right there, or I could even run my positive down to the starter cable too. I probably won't do that though. I'll probably just jumper it over into this little auxiliary box here, and that'll be that. But just trying to get more stuff buttoned up on it, and just keeping track of that, but moving along, and want to try and get this thing running. Doing a little more rocking and rolling here, so I kind of got the coolant reservoir just roughly in there, but heater hoses on, radiator hoses, getting the manifold on, little brackets here from upper fan shroud, that's all clipped together, and so we're going to really start moving along now. Really just blasting through this truck here, getting a lot of things put together, and you know, it's funny how things kind of just fall into place once you get going, and so that's kind of the case with this, and everything just fits just so here or just so there, and working out pretty nice and making a lot of headway. I'm sorry I haven't filmed a whole lot of it, just kind of one of those things where I'm so close to being able to start it and run it, and at that point not have to get the tractor to push it in or use the winch to pull it in, because that gets old really fast. So if I can just have it run on its own power to get in and out would be awesome. So that's, you know, a big goal right there. So I want to try and make that happen this weekend, and so I'm really just pressing on. But yes, I got everything over here on the passenger side kind of starting to really get wrapped up. This is probably where the coolant reservoir is going to sit there. And this hose will have to be a little longer to reach the radiator. I'm going to put the battery in the factory tray there, and then this side I think I'm going to run over to here, and that's all the more I know right now, so stay tuned for that. Air conditioning, I can't do anything with the air conditioning right now until I figure out where and how I'm going to mount a compressor. So until then, this is just going to be hanging out. Accumulator's just going to be hanging out, and all that. None of that stuff's going to work until I do a lot more tinkering. So, but that's kind of all there, and intake, radiator hoses, manifold down in there. Fuse box and PCM just sitting over here. Have to get those fastened however I see fit for that. And then I'm working on the exhaust right now. I'm moving everything too much. We'll just go up in the air. But yes, I got just these pipes on here, and I don't know if we can see. There we go. So yeah, I got that much on there. I bashed it in with the hammer a little bit right there. A little clearance. Pretty tight right there. Anyways, so that's that. And then over here, got that one on. And everything fit together really nice though, so I'll be able to do all that. And then I'm gonna use the factory Y pipe right there. I'm gonna use that to cut the converters out of it. And then I'll put that up in there too. And I've got a muffler for it, and tailpipe will be another time, probably figure that out. So, but yeah, this is view from the bottom though, as it is right now. So got a bunch of stuff to button up. Got some awesome progress done on the truck this afternoon, and got everything in here. Should be ready to fire, I hope. Fingers crossed. But everything's in there. It should have to run. It's like some kind of sick science experiment I got going on here now. So fuse block, PCM here, and I have this is the ignition, to the ignition switch is the red, from the ignition switch is the pink. So just like the ignition's on right there, power to my DLC, got my Bluetooth dongle on there, got the Varus firing up right now, fuel pump output right here, and that runs down to in there. I got the connector unplugged, and then that runs to that. Booster pack and battery, positive jumped over to here, and then the booster pack on it too. That battery's kind of weak. I got the little charger on it going, but and then the power probe hooked here into my starter, and it should fire. I think it will die because it doesn't have any of the security taken off on this, but if this data link connector works and we can talk to it and everything, then I'll go through with the HB tuners and get the security taken off. So let's see what happens here. Looks like I gotta fix this up a little better maybe. goes nothing. How fucking awesome was that? Alright, so now we're hooked up. We're gonna pull the tune off this computer so that way we can rewrite it without the security and get this baby to fire up. So I got a muffler on it, I got the transmission lines figured out, I got battery charging. We'll see if this thing works. How awesome is that? And just like that, we're reading a tune. Let that go. I gotta take a pee. We'll come back when it's all done. And I just disabled the VATs, and now we're writing it. Write completed. So we just did it. We should be able to fire it up, and this thing will just sit and idle now. We're gonna hope it does anyways. Alright, so there's the little that. You disconnect right here. Need somewhere good to sit you guys. Alright. Here goes nothing. Show you a little bit what I got going on with this drive shaft. So it's going to be two-piece shaft, not because I think it's cooler or works better, but because it's just what I had to chop up. And so this is the front portion of an S10. This is a 96 two-wheel drive extended cab short bed S10 that this come out of, and I've had it sitting over at my dad's barn for years and never had the heart to scrap it, and I think it's going to work fine for my application here. And so yeah, like I said, this is the front portion of it, and I got that shortened up there, and so this is where I cut it right here, and then took about 14 inches off of that, welded it back together, and then this will be the rear portion of the shaft here, and a little carrier support there. And so that'll come over all this, and then the other second part of the shaft will go down there. So I'll show you guys that real quick. We'll get that in. that'll be the end of the video for this one, and mission accomplished though. I got it running so I could drive it out. Hopefully it'll drive back in when I go to start it the next time. And I know I didn't go in depth with a lot of the different things putting it together. You know, I assume a lot of you guys watching kind of have a general idea of what I'm doing or how some of that stuff goes together, but it really is a lot of plug and play between the older and the newer trucks sometimes too, and just experience and knowing what this is and what that is and where to hook this and where to hook that. So for me it would probably be too tedious to try to video all that, and I really want to drive the truck yet this summer, so I had some free time this weekend to get at it and get this much done, so I got it running and can maybe document more as I go too. So it's definitely far from being done. Got to get a lot of more parts and a lot more time into it, but I definitely appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully that's a little more excitement seeing it actually in motion and running. Makes it like a little bit less of a pipe dream when it's actually running, you know. Now people can maybe believe that I'm going to try and finish it, so that's cool, and just happy to get that done. And going into this next week, got some more repair to do, so we'll get that knocked out, and then maybe we'll get back onto the C1500 and get some more stuff done on it. But in the meantime, everybody stay safe, and thanks for watching.